Hello, welcome to All These Repairs. Today we will be fixing and replacing the foam in these vents in the VW Cabriolet. As many of you know, the side vents are not heated, so when you're driving in the winter, the cold air slips by and it really makes your hands cold. So if you look here, this is the center vent that we have. The foam's actually still really intact on this one. What we're going to be doing is removing the 3 vents from the car, replacing this foam and reinstalling them. For this repair, you'll need a metal clothes hanger or about 12 inches of stiff wire, some pliers to cut the hanger or the wire, a small flat blade screwdriver, approximately 2 or 3 millimeter thick closed cell foam. This can usually be acquired from some packaging that you have laying around, and finally some JB Weld or epoxy of your choice. Step 1 is to find a metal clothes hanger. We're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to cut the edge off here. This is going to be our vent removal tool. Bend these edges in. This is going to be our hook. And then once we have our hook made, we're going to make another bend here in the back. This is going to be for our fingers to hold. Okay, step 1, we're going to take these that we've now bent into these hooks, slowly insert them on the edge here, all the way in, and then we hook on the side. The vent has to be open for this as well, of course. Once it's hooked in, carefully pull outwards on the vent. Irgendwie dieses hat's total nicht erwischt. For these side vents, we're going to have to reach underneath the knee bar to unhook the vent tubing that connects to it. Okay, here we are underneath the knee bar, and you can see the vent tubing right up there. Reach up and disconnect it. This one's already disconnected. As you can see, the previous owner never connected it. Insert these all the way in, and then we are going to again hook them on the inside of the vent. Okay, again, pull out on this like we did earlier. Then if you can see there's little metal clips in here, push down slowly on these, and then pull out the top.
And the procedure is similar on the other side. Disconnect. Insert our two hooks. Pull outwards.
Alright, so here's our center vent. As we saw, this one actually has almost no foam in it. So with this one, we are going to carefully remove the foam that's left with a screwdriver. And this is going to be functioning as our template for whatever we cut. So be careful when you remove it. And then this is my replacement foam. This is approximately 2.5 millimeters thick. It's some closed cell foam that we actually had left over from some packaging. Okay, so this foam is so deteriorated, I can't even try to get the rest of it out to make some sort of a template. So what I'm going to do is I have this one laying around that I had gotten from the junkyard. I'm going to use this as my template. I'll take a picture of the template and upload it and then put it in the video now. Carefully remove this. There's a little bit more left on these. Okay, now that we have our templates made, we are going to start tracing them with Sharpie so that we can cut them out. Okay, next, we're going to take this. We actually have to remove the center vent piece here so that we can install it properly. This is really careful, so these are very brittle. Very carefully push back on this plastic tab. And then carefully squeeze this vent so that we can remove these here. Squeeze it one, very carefully push it, and out you are. Okay, so now we have this piece that we already cut, and let's install it. So slide it on over. And time to reinstall it back into the vent. Slide it through. Squeeze the vent a little bit. Careful, do not break it. And it's installed. And finally, last step, snap this little lever on again. Okay, now we can inspect our work. A little bit large, but we'll only make it seal better. As you can see, it seals very well everywhere. Repeat the same for the other two. Here, the center vent, similar procedure. Very carefully snap this edge off, this little lever off. Carefully squeeze it, and you can remove it. Remove all the old foam. At this point, you can give the vent a good washing in the sink if you like, which I'm going to do now. Okay, to reinforce these vents, as we can see, this one here, it's starting to crack, and they're already in bad shape. These are broken in here. Your best bet, honestly, if that's the case, is replacing or trying to replace this little bar in here. But for today, we're just going to reinforce this plastic out here so that no more of it breaks. The way we're going to do that, we're going to take some JB Weld. All right, and then we will carefully, we'll start with this one, apply it around the edges here. So we don't want to make it any thicker than these little plastic pieces that stick up. Otherwise, it won't go in there properly. Okay, now that we glued it here and the glue's solidifying, we can finish putting the vent back together. Grab this piece that we made, slide it over. And then installation is similar to removal. Slide this in first. Get this centered. Come over to the other side. Squeeze the vent just a little bit. Pop it in. Last step is going to be very carefully attaching this right here. And same for this side. Slide it in. Get that centered. Come to the other side. Carefully squeeze the vent. Get it to pop in. And then the last step being to snap this piece in. All right. Okay, installation. Take this. Sneak one hand around. Slide this hose up to get the hose to snap onto the vent. And then, once the hose is attached to the vent, snap the vent back into place. Okay, with this one, we have to make sure that it gets inside of this little plastic piece here. So the way we're going to do that is just very carefully, make sure, pay attention that it's centered, and slide it in carefully. All right, and there you are. Thanks for watching another episode of Ollie's Repairs. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment for more.